Blog Talk Radio.
Here at ACO Radio, American Communications Online, or any affiliated stations or websites are not responsible for what guest hosts or call-ins may say. All programming is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hi. Are you taking readings?
Yeah. Is TJ here? Who am I speaking to?
My name is Keisha.
Okay. And we'd like to know your location, basically, and your date of birth, if you don't mind sharing your age, and your astrological sign, possibly.
Sure.
And also, of course,
Florida.
if you have a question. Okay.
I'm in Florida. 12977, Aquarius. What were the other requirements?
Just if you have a question, it's kind of a mini reading, it's
love.
not a full-blown reading, it's just a mini reading.
Love. You see anybody
Okay.
new come into my life?
Well,
Yeah,
I
me.
see you
Hi,
walk.
Keisha.
There she bees. There's my counterpart. She was kind of MIA for a minute there.
I wanted to see how you do. That was cruel. It wasn't intentional, I swear. Hey, everybody, this is TJ Morris, Theresa J Morris. Welcome aboard on Ground Truth. Hey, Keisha. Glad to hear you. My Keisha next door is La Keisha. You spell your name the same way?
Oh.
No, is yours
just Keisha.
Well, hold
just
on
Keisha,
just a minute.
yes.
Let me see. 775, are you from California, area code?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hold on. I was looking for my other psychic. Hold on.
I'm here.
Okay, I was looking for Suzanne. Let me see if this is
Yeah, I know.
Suzanne. Suzanne,
Okay.
are you on 310? Who's on 310?
Son's from New York.
Oh, hi. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, wonderful. We got a lot of people here. Okay. Well, folks, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. This is a live talk show. It is an entertainment show, so we love doing what we're doing. And unfortunately, I can't find my tarot cards, so y'all are going to have to help me out here tonight. I swear to God, I've got about 5 sets, and my daughters have been moving everything around, including Keisha next door. So, y'all have to just bear with me. We're going to make this work. So I have invited Richard T. Knight. He is in Georgia, but he has traveled all over the world and worked around the world. And Richard, sort of introduce yourself, and we're going to get started. But Keisha, stand by. I'm going to put you and everyone I just talked to on hold so we can hear Richard. but I'll get back to you. Hold on. Now, my phone number's not showing up, so y'all stand by. I've got a whole bunch of numbers turned on that I got to turn off so I can talk. Now, Richard, I think it's just you and me right now. Now, I apologize to everybody. There's an 850 number. Is that you, Keisha?
That's me.
Okay,
Yep.
Hold on. We'll be back to you in just a minute. Okay, wow, you guys are showing up during the day for us. This is a good deal. First of all, I'd like to invite y'all to Blog Talk Radio. It's free. You shouldn't have to pay anything to be on our show. And on the outside of Blog Talk Radio, if y'all on your phones will go to TJ Morris ET Radio and like me, we're going to do some mini readings with Richard T. Knight tonight. And now he does things a little different than I do. And I don't see Suzanne of California for Thursdays, which we usually have for the last year or so. So Richard T. Knight is helping me now, and we're introducing him to all of you all over the world. We're happy about it. He did a really good job yesterday. So this is our Psychic Mini Readings live talk show. So you're going to help us because at the present, I've got to run a business in the studio, so I guess y'all rather have me here so we can do this. But I am a bona fide psychic, have been, gosh, I guess I was born into it. And I've done a lot of companies, and Psychic Network was mine in Hawaii. And I started doing this back in 2012. So we're happy to be here and made in the USA, and all these numbers are local, are in the States, Richard. So we're good to go. So Richard T. Knight, introduce yourself to all these people, and the silence was because I couldn't figure out who I was on the board.
Okay. All right. Well, of course, I'm Richard, and I wear many thousands of hats. I've walked many paths, many traditions. I'm an initiate of many paths and many traditions. But for the sake of this specific area of expertise, you would classify me as clairomniscient. In other words, I have all the clear abilities and then some. And I, like my co-partner here, TJ, was basically born into it. I was born with 14 senses with a complete and lucid idea, memory, and information in regards to who I am and where I came from and how I came to be and all this kind of different stuff. And I do paranormal investigations. I do exorcisms. I do all kinds of different things. I do house clearings. I help people cross over. I do healing. I'm a Reiki Grandmaster of 5 different techniques and traditions. And in addition to that, I do readings through cards. I do psychic impressions, which tonight that's what I'm going to be doing is psychic impression readings, which basically that's why I ask you your name and then your date of birth. If you'd rather not disclose your date of birth, you can always just give us your age. And then, of course, your astrological sign. And that helps us basically zone in or zoom in, you could say, in a matter of speaking, as to who you are and where you're coming from. And then, of course, if you have a proposed question or a particular area that you're interested in learning more about or whatever. All right. Now, that's me in a nutshell, pretty much. I'm very well educated and I'm very well traveled. I'm a writer, a poet, soon to come out with a bunch of books. And TJ and I are business partners on a lot of different fronts. The ACO Club, which is America Communications Online, which is our master umbrella of things. And, of course, the show tonight, like she said, is dedicated to mini readings. And mini readings usually last anywhere from, I don't know, it just whatever spirit gives us, basically speaking. So in your reference, Keisha, you had asked about the area of love in the future. And I see you going down a hallway that's loaded with doors. And there are 3 doors in particular that open. And these are different periods of time, okay? So in other words, we're talking one is probably about a month away, another one is about a couple months away, and the third one is about 5 or 6 months away. And these are different gentlemen that are going to be entering your life. And the first one is going to be very, very romantic. And you're going to hit it off right away. But you also have to be very cautious, of course, nowadays with the stupid pandemic going on and all this other crazy stuff. So a lot of things are happening more online than they are in person so much, okay? So I would caution you, of course, in meeting strangers that you don't really know. You see what I'm saying? Just because I might predict for you that, you're going to have these three strangers coming into your life, you also have to be discerning and precautious for your own welfare. You know what I'm saying? In other words, don't go flinging yourself out there, because that might not be the greatest thing to do. But anyway, this gentleman is very romantic. You're going to find that he is a Capricorn by astrological sign. He is 5'11" or so, and medium build, and has light colored hair and green eyes. And so you can look for him. That way you have his description, so at least you'll know when you meet him. I'm not particularly getting any name other than possibly it's starting with a D, like as in David or Daniel or something of that nature. Or it could be more exotic, you know what I'm saying? Like Deshay or something like that, okay? So anyway, that's a romantic spark there. And then there's another one coming along down the same hallway, which I guess you could say this is your tunnel of love, as a matter, in a matter of speaking or whatever. And the second one is more of a philosophical type gentleman. He's very well educated. Matter of fact, he's a professor at a university, and he's coming into your life. And I'm not sure if you meet because you make an inquiry as to some kind of course or class of something of that nature. But that seems to be the connection there. Whereas the first one,
doing that.
and his name begins with an R. Okay, and I find that to be exotic because it's very different. I would say Rashad, but that's very similar to Richard in a manner of speaking. But I see. Let's see. I see the two of you going out to dinner, okay? So in other words, the first one is very romantic and somewhat shy. So you're gonna have to kind of muddle through that one as you see fit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, well, in any kind of relationship, you're always kind of playing chess or checkers. You know what I'm saying? You're waiting for one person to make a move, and then the other person makes a move, and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And if, of course, there's a real spark, then you know almost instantaneously. Usually you can look into a person's eyes and see almost immediately whether there's a spark or not. But this second gentleman has very much a college connection with you. And do you know that it is a professor, or in other words, a person of authority in a curriculum setting and that kind of thing. And so he's very well dressed. He's very refined in his manners, okay? And he's very much a gentleman. And then the third one, which is way off in the future, even though we're only talking maybe between 4 and 6 months anyway. And this is a very outgoing, adventurous type person. And he's more like, he likes to go to zoos, and he likes to go, explore like gardens and things out in nature, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure, which particular aspect happens to hit upon you the best, but I think, I don't know. It seems to be the college man that seems to have the most spark from what I see.
Yeah, I like him, but gosh, can I have all three of them in one guy? They all sound like a winner, But I like the college guy. I like smart men, men that makes me think.
Well, what you do,
of course,
here's a bit of personal advice for you. Okay, you take a blank piece of paper and you think to yourself what you would ideally like to have in a particular man. Okay, and you write down the physical description and their characteristics of personality and all that. And you write it down on a piece of paper, and then basically you take the piece of paper, all right, and you can, okay, the paper represents wood or earth, okay, and of course the pen, the ink itself represents plant life and that kind of things. And then, of course, your emotional intent, of course, you're picturing this person, whoever they might be, because naturally, like I said, you want to get all up into this, you know what I'm saying, emotionally and all that kind of thing, all right? And then, in turn, you make this list. You envision this person as though they're sitting in front of you, and then you take the piece of paper and you burn it. And at the same time, you light yourself a pink candle, okay? And in this pink candle, you infuse it with the intention of meeting this person who you just envisioned. It's called sympathetic magic, by the way.
Okay.
But you put things out to the universe, and we are co-creators. In other words, we create who and what enters our reality, and that's what you need to do. Okay? Is that a help to you?
Okay. Sounds good.
All
I'll
right.
try it. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. TJ, are you there in the background somewhere? TJ.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
There you bees. There you bees.
Okay.
Well,
wonderful. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, we kind of sort of satisfied Keisha as far as I know. Anyway.
Okay. We'll get started, everybody. Now that I'm getting better, I was having to get situated to get my incense going, find me some cards. Y'all, we're going to have to work with a new set of cards for me. Richard's never worked with me before. So, Richard, I'll take the next one, and that was 310, if I remember correctly, if he stayed with us. Let's see. There he is. Hold on. We got quite a few folks, so stand by. Okay, area code 310. Hi, you're live and on the air with TJ and Richard. What's your name, where you're calling from? And I will go from there with a question. These are mini readings, so we ask you to ask a question. So what's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Vince, and I'm calling from New York. And my date of birth is 8/10/59. I'm a Leo. And my question is this. In January, at the end of January, I was suspended from work because I was blamed for something that happened that I didn't do, that I'm not responsible for. At least that's the way I feel. And a week later, they called and they fired me. The union got involved. They put in a grievance. I lost the grievance. And at this point, I had a conference call with the union leader and the union lawyer last week. And I'm waiting to hear if they're going to take it to arbitration on my behalf or not. But I'm also, I was also on a last chance agreement letter, too, from work. So I had 7 more months to go on it. So I'm wondering if you see them taking it to arbitration and if I'm going to win the case or and go back to that job or what's going to happen.
Can you tell me what type of work you're in? Because I'm going to use my cards.
Okay. I was doing manufacturing and production.
All right, stand by. So you're in HR and all of that. All right. Well, what we're going to do is I'm starting a new deck, so it's like you're starting a new life with us. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It said back to call. You'll have to forgive me with my phones, and Richard will tell you he's new working with me, but I've not used this deck of cards, folks, so I'm even shaking tonight because I'm calling in everything I can new. It's like being on stage, even though I've been doing this many years. So I'm going to do my best where you can hear me. I've got 2 cell phones and a studio and a laptop, and we're all over the place. But I know this is important to you, and Richard can be envisioning what he's seeing. But I'm going to talk to those upstairs, folks. I use the tarot and archetypes and working with reality in space, although I don't need to be on television right now or on my phone. Why is it doing this? No, I don't want to try a new video effect. I'm on radio. My phone's getting all fancy on me. No, stop it. Oh, gosh. I tell you what, folks, out here in cyberspace culture, these new gadgets I got are always wanting to do their own thing, and I really don't get it. I give them way too much energy. All right, Vince, let me see what we got here. We got a mixed mash of wisdom all mixed up. I can tell from the past, which you sort of give us an idea. Now, I'm looking at some brand new cards. Temperance is involved, which means it is going to have to be about the emotions. Temperance always does seem to have a lot to do with law. But you do have a woman on your side. But there is a woman involved in your past that believes in you and apparently is going to speak for you because that's your past. Now, what I'm doing is mini readings, which only means I'm pulling 3 cards from past, present, future because it's all in the now. And you need information today, even though it's going to be in the future. Now, in the present, you've got a lot of, my goodness, let me look one more time. Oh, good. All right, so the judgment card is up on the present cards, the 3 stacks. I'm pulling, folks, if y'all, any of you tarot readers or want to come to our classes in the future. But that is up for you, and it does look like, I'm going to be honest with you, Vince, you've had a lot of power in your past lives, and you really need to call on your wisdom and your women. And we're all balanced, and I need you to look at this as a very big place in your life where in the past kingdoms, you've been around a lot of castles. I can tell you've been able to have, you were a knight, actually knighted is what this judgment card is telling me. And in the past, you had a lot of responsibility. A lot of people, especially these women, these three women, one is light red, one's a brunette, and one's platinum. So these are women I want you to think about in present, three women. Now, in the future, I'm already pulling, there is a God card for you, so that's good. Now, you're calling down the seven of heavens. What is this one? Oh, the Holy Trinity. Okay, so you are religious. Are you Catholic or have been?
No, I was raised Roman Catholic by my parents, who were really psychotic, wacko religious freaks, and I don't believe in it.
All right, so you were raised by the grandpa, parent Kelly. You don't have any religious beliefs? Well, that's going to be hard on.
I mean, I do. I'm more of a spiritualist than. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, regarding your spiritual side, that's something you may want to really be working on, because these are all tests while you're here on this learning planet. Now, you're on you're on the low end in your future, by the way. It all relies on your higher source self, looking down and seeing that you are in judgment. So this is a stepping stone. You know, when one door closes, another one opens, right? But they're showing me that this is based on your future with your Holy Trinity, or three's a charm. And I believe it or not, I've been working a lot on that, so it's no wonder you called this show. Now, your future shows that you're going to complete all 10 steps. So if you're on your last position with an agreement, and you said the union is involved, and that's New York too, right?
Yeah.
And you need to have a good confirmation. Now, let me ask you a very serious question for the universe. Do you want to move forward, level up in this game of life and ascension, or do you want to stay where you are?
Oh, of course I want to move up.
You want to move on. All right. Well, in that case, let me pull one more. Your fortune is up for you. So the Earth Lakshmi says, this is giving your choice. So when you go into that meeting, they are not going to be decided. So you're going to have to pull on all the powers that you know spiritually from your divine higher self. And it's showing me that your fortune is all up to you. They will go in undecided. So whatever you want, whatever you create in this reality, because we've had a change in the last 48 hours, we are officially now in the ascension age, and we are creating our own reality. So Vince, be uplifted. You need to really look at your higher spiritual self. We have our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. I want you to think about it. I want you to dream about it. I want you to write a journal on it. And you show the universe in physical manifestation what you want and desire. Okay, Richard, on the fortune card for his, he's in charge of this meeting, and that's his main question. Richard, what do you got? What'd you get a hit on?
Well, I was getting kind of a mixed bag. I was seeing that he was going to be supported in regards to his personal defense on an emotional level. He was also going to be supported on a legal level. But at the same time, it was like you're going before 3 or 4 different individuals, which I guess would be some kind of a board hearing or some kind of a mediation hearing or something of that nature. And
exactly.
They're going to be, I think they want you to impress them. In other words, it's like they've come to a situation where they're at like a changing point. They're saying, okay, well, we've got you and we've got this situation, and we don't know whether it's actually true or not. We're kind of on the fence post on that. And what we want to do for you is we want you to prove to us whether we should keep you as an employee. So it's very similar to what TJ was outlining for you with the future card. And again, you know, is this something that you really want to hang on to, or do you feel that you're in a condition that, you know, it's time to move on? I mean, maybe you feel that, you know, you've been unjustly accused of something that you didn't do, so the moral and ethical high ground are going to be in your favor. But at the same time, times you can make good impressions that later down the line turn bad, if you know what I'm saying. In other words, it's like certain people take impressions in tunnel vision, and if you're not speaking within the parameter of their tunnel vision, then they don't see you clearly as a genuine person coming towards them.
Right. Okay. Do you see when this thing is going to have board meeting is going to happen?
I would say within 9 days.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm waiting to hear from the lawyer if they're going to pursue it or not. So I'm hoping they do. See, my whole thing is I just want to clear my name, get some kind of a settlement, and then move on. If I have another place to go, that's what I want.
Sounds healthy. Sounds very healthy.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, because I don't want to stay in an environment that's very toxic and this. I put in a lot of hours. I worked all the overtime. I slept in my car because I live like 75 miles away from where I worked, and I made the sacrifice by sleeping in my car because I worked so much overtime and everything, and I would only come home once a week. And for them to do this to me, in spite of everything I've done for the company, I even worked through my breaks just to meet deadlines to get the certain jobs done. And this just shows me what they did to me means nothing to them.
You're super. Whoever's giving you the overtime, with the way that we've been in this, we're in a very rare form at most of our companies due to COVID-19, which I'm sure you're aware of. But thank you for your service and your overtime, and know the universe is supporting you, Vince. So it's really all up to you. Okay. You need to really write down how fair you've been and make sure they know you're They know your hours. So metaphysically, just be one with yourself and be clear that this is going to come through and it's going to go the way you want it to go, okay? And you stay in our little group if you can. There's no charge. It's our ACO club. It's me and Richard, and we'll be back here. So keep in touch with us, okay?
Will do.
Thank you
very much.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good
All right.
night.
Next. All right, let's get going here, folks. Thank you, Vince. That was very informative and helpful to a lot of people, such as yourself, that are putting in long hours and extra hours to make up for all those people out there that are working so hard to cover other people's hours that are out with COVID-19 or have family, or just because the companies are having to trim down due to so many hours and things like that. So it's rough out there. Let's see here, 775. You're live and on the air now. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Wendy from California.
Hi, Wendy from California. You sound very sweet. What question do you have for us today?
Thank you. I ordered very expensive hearing aids, a new style, late October of last year. And I'm outside the return window, but I have a lot of courage, and I know how to express myself very well. And I pled my case, and I actually put it in writing via email to the representative, and I asked her to please forward it to her supervisor. Basically, I'm just asking to do a replacement, even though I'm outside the window, and I gave very specific, strong reasons why I'm hoping they will work with me on this. I think I'll hear from Lou tomorrow. What will be the outcome? Will they work with me? Will they allow me to exchange for hearing aids that will work?
Well, let me words here, because I'll be speaking extraterrestrially and from the universe. And then Richard does it a little different way than with your date of birth and your sign for helping you. But since we're doing many readings in one question, he may be able to pick up without all that today, since we're doing real basic one questions. Now, let me just go with you what the universe is telling you. I'm going to do the cards first. Got a beautiful past, very clear person. Oh, my gosh, very beautiful life you've had. let me look at the present. Okay. I'm looking at your cards now, and you have balance in the right now. You have very good balance. You have money on your side. There's a princess in our higher source we call guides or angels or your guardian angel. Now, you have one of your guardian angels is for wisdom. So he wants you to, he's stepping next to your ET guardian, which is from India. Ooh, her name is Yamana, and she likes you. So you apparently had past lives there. But they're going to look after you on the higher level. Now, let me see what your future has, because your question's in the future. You're traveling, and you do have a higher card. That's good. So the heavens are looking down and saying, oh, my gosh. Wow, out of all these cards, who would think that? Okay, well, it's looking like they're going to let you plead your case as well. And I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it, but you got the same cards the last guy got. So similar energies going on for people. That might be a test, folks. This is like a spiritual test for all you people out there, and that should be apparent. It says the same thing, and I did shuffle the cards and mix them up and divide them by 3, Richard. So it's not the cards of the universe, but she has the same answer. They want her to look at her spiritual parts, and the fortune is going to be up to her, because they're really looking to people to look to their higher self and soul and their spirit. Richard, can you expound on that for her? She's asking a specific question. It looks like to me that the heavens are saying it's in her favor, as long as she's balanced and spiritual. What do you get, Richard? You got a feeling emotionally?
Well, yeah, I got an overwhelming feeling of that there was going to be a supervisor, and then even one of the persons involved with the actual manufacturer of the hearing aids was actually going to step forward and say, well, look, as a company, we sure don't want to have a bad reputation as to shortchanging people, and, even though it may be outside the return, it would normally be covered under warranty, and so they're saying to them, the manufacturer themselves is coming forward to the representative through which you purchased the hearing aids and saying, yes, we want to work with this young lady, and yes, we will send her a better product, and she can just send us the old ones so that we can look to see what went wrong, or we're saying in their so they can clean up their act on their end to prevent the same thing occurring to other people. So yeah, I see a definitely positive outcome in this particular instance.
Well, that
now,
sounds wonderful.
Now, as far as your higher self, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, I am a very high communicator, and I knew right from the bat, by putting this in print, so to speak, in an email, that it becomes kind of a legal interaction. And
True.
When I hear from Lou tomorrow, will they say, yes, we'll hear from you, or am I going to have to reach out to the actual company that manufactured the hearing aids and ask them to support me, or will it be resolved tomorrow?
I think it'll be resolved all in one place and time, because I think the minds are going to get together, both the manufacturer and the representative that sold them to you to begin with.
Well, that sounds great, and hopefully they still have the molds that were taken about 4 years ago for this kind of hearing aids. They had to do like a mold, so they should still have those. Right.
Well, yeah, and that and the fact if you go ahead and mail them back, what I'm saying, they might even pay the shipping for it to wherever they have to go, what I'm saying, and mail these that are not working back to them, and then they can make you an identical pair.
That sounds great. That sounds perfect. You've got it. You picked up on facets of this that are integral, and I am a very good communicator, and I think that something wouldn't let up. I knew that I really should send an email, because then it becomes more in my favor automatically, because it's in print. And I was very specific about this impacting my quality of life, loss of employment, and excruciating pain. So I think that they would have a hard time saying no.
Yeah. I mean, from a principal logistical standpoint, they're going to say, well, we sure don't need a lawsuit. Let's settle with this lady to the best of our ability and make certain that she's not going to be one that's going to turn around and say, well, don't buy such and such or don't purchase such and such because there have been a bunch of scammers and a bunch of shim-sham people, and all they do is send you stuff that doesn't work, and then in turn it has a negative effect on your life. I mean, no company wants that brand or black eye. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Oh yes, and this is a highly respected company, and this is a totally different style, and this style just simply does not work for me, and so I think I pled my case, so to speak, very articulately and concisely. I said some powerful statements. Loss of employment due to this, cannot hear sufficiently as compared to the previous style. Tremendous excruciating pain and infections. I knew what to say. I've worked in the health insurance environment for many years, and so and that's great that they'll be willing to pay the shipping costs back. That's wonderful.
Well, I mean, that's just that's the common appreciated thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I can relate to that. I mean, go ahead.
So when I have a conversation with Lou, is the customer service representative. We have a great rapport, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but it is the truth that I've actually helped a lot of friends because I know how to write a letter, and I know the legal effect it can have on that. And the supervisor will immediately clue in on this, even if the representative doesn't. And so in my opinion, I think because I sent that email today, being very specific about my experience, I think that's probably what's going to swing the deal.
Well, I want you to also open up and understand that you're also a very powerful given individual when it comes to communicating through your throat chakra. And as a result of that, clear impressions are made and felt not only emotionally but also spiritually. And of course, you reach into a person's heart from the aspect being that you're saying, well, if you were me, would you like to be put through all these conditions? Of course they wouldn't. So you're going to automatically get sympathetic emotional states in the beings that you're reaching out to. You see what I'm saying? So naturally, when you do that, people are going to turn and open their hearts towards you and, of course, grant you whatever it is necessary in order to resolve the situation to your benefit.
You are exactly correct. And I did lose my job, and it is related to this in October. But I know I'll be working again. I'm pushing 70, but I don't care. I have a very impressive resume, and I'll be doing something remotely on the phone. I predict before the year ends. I'm very, very positive about that.
Oh, I think it's coming around April. I think it'll be long before the year ends.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Well,
make sure you're on. Thank you so much. And be sure and use Indeed and LinkedIn, please. Those are good for people, professionals. They look at your LinkedIn account and they look at your Indeed account, I'm told, by a lot of people professionally. And they do have a lot of us 55 and older baby boomers out there working. And we're going to continue, folks, just so you know that 55 and above, they know it's hard to retire. So they're going to help us. And this is a good time to try to find employment. Thank you very much. Come back and see us. Be sure and like us on Blog Talk. Thank you so much. We're going to go to the next person. And did we do 650 area code 815? Did we get you? Yeah.
Yes, hi. Hi, hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am. How can we help you? What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York. My name is Mandy.
Mandy, they have a beautiful voice. Now, I use Tarot. I'm using a new deck today. I don't know how that's going to go, but let's do the mini reading with you asking a question, and then during the week we'll start doing a little more in depth. But what kind of question do you have for us today? It's TJ and Richard.
It's regarding my work. I'm venturing out on some volunteer work, and I'm just wondering what you see regarding this. How will it go?
Let me look at
that.
it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so doing volunteer work is very transformational. I look at the cards, the psychic universe, and how archetypes fit in. Now, you've been very, very helpful in the past. You've been married in the past, haven't you? It's very,
yes.
Are you happy? You're happily married still? Thank you. Now, for present, you have support. So you're you're balanced too. We've got some callers. Get callers. I guess you folks are trusting the universe. Thank you so much for calling in and helping us being a part of our show. This experience that you've got, it looks very male-driven in your present. Let me look at your future. Very heartfelt, working for the higher good. Apparently, money isn't a problem for you according to the future. Now, it does say that you have a higher source. You could be doing this. Actually, it says you're doing it for the right reasons. That's why you said volunteer. The universe really appreciates you. My goodness, let me see. I'm going to pull one more. Oh, now this, I don't rain on people's parades. I'm not a doom and gloom kind of psychic at all, and most aren't these days. But we also know in the woo-woo business that a lot of good gets you nowhere. So to be realistic with you, this is a very good choice you've made. You have a lot of male energy that's in your present that's going to be supporting you to do this. Now, this beautiful woman that's going to show you that you can make money at this, you're going to be tempted. So go on and make sure that you're doing this volunteer work. It looks really good. The universe will support you. But I had to pull one more way over. It's like called future, even though we're all in the now. This is all an illusion in time, space. But your higher self that's leading you with your giving heart and you're working for God or source. I don't know how you relate to your higher reality and your source code, but it's showing me that they're going to pull a Lord of Temptation in the future. So I always tell people while you're volunteering, we appreciate it because I volunteer for this show and so does Richard, but no good deed goes unpunished. So keep that in mind. Just be very good at being who you are. Keep your white light up as a light worker and a truth seeker. And we appreciate your service and volunteering, but the cards are very much on your side. We really appreciate you saying you want to volunteer and help. But just remember, in the future, your higher self is going to tempt you a little bit because this is a learning planet. But your voice and your energy and volunteering, you say all the right words to the universe, and it's absolutely supporting you. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Richard, what do you pick up for her?
Well, I was seeing providing to other person's needs or sustenance, specifically like a meal kitchen, and possibly doing referrals as into like counseling sessions for those in need of that find themselves in situations of drug abuse or some kind of other addiction or addictive therapy and that kind of thing. And I see you, it's like all kinds of people are rushing towards you and they're all offering you business cards. It's like, oh, will you come to work for me? Oh, will you come to work for me? And you're kind of flabbergasted because it's like your light is so shiny in the environment in which you're entering that you're just going to draw all these endless stream of possibilities to you. That's just kind of, it's kind of comical in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're standing in line and maybe you're helping put together backpacks of useful ingredients so that, you know, homeless people can fend for themselves to a larger extent than they do normally. And this kind of thing, or any kind of other outreach that is spiritual based in regards to being humane. all of a sudden you're just going to attract these lots and lots of resources that are coming towards you and saying, well, we have this opportunity over here, or we have this opportunity over there. And it's because they don't recognize that you're there out of the voluntariness of your heart. You see what I'm saying? In other words, it's almost like they're seeing you there as unappreciated for being there. And that's kind of strange, but I don't know how else to phrase it. So anyway, be very much aware of all these other opportunities that come towards you. And of course, as a result, you're going to have hundreds of different choices to make because, you can volunteer in all kinds of different perspectives and all kinds of different environments and so forth. And you've got to choose, where you feel at home at. Because I know you were saying, well, is this going to work out? Well, of course it's going to work out because you're the one being the volunteer. You see what I'm saying? The persons that are involved in the situation are going to be very receptive to you being a volunteer in that capacity, and they're going to want to welcome you with open arms and everything. And now whether you settle into that particular environment is strictly up to you. Does that make sense?
It's just that it was just that with COVID, I think people are just somehow not working their regular hours and they're working part-time, and things sort of just aren't taken as I don't know how to word it, as seriously as perhaps before, prior to COVID. And I just don't want to get slip through the cracks. I just want to make sure that I'm taken seriously. That's why I asked how it would work out, whether I would actually even wind up with a position. I have reached out to them, and it just sort of, although both have replied back, it just seems that it's not as quickly or timely as I would have imagined their responses to be. And so I'm just sort of wondering how it's all going to play out,
Well, like I said, they're going to be appreciated for the fact that, you're volunteering first and foremost. And as far as COVID is concerned, yes, it is definitely affecting people in a lot of different drastic ways. But you also have to keep in mind that as far as professionals go, as long as you're following CDC guidelines and you're masking and you're keeping social distancing going and all that kind of good stuff, and of course now with the numerous vaccines being spread all over the place, a little more social and not as standoffish as they had been. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, of course. Well, I thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We really appreciate all your volunteers. And as volunteers, we have a lot of them that I work with in various groups. And some groups you have to be in their face if you really want to volunteer, show up. So the first thing we usually say in volunteering is show up. So maybe that's something you should do is make sure that you show up and they know who you are in human form. And if you're going to do remote work, of course, put in your service. And, folks, we're all getting this gathering. It's that time of year where we're all going to be coming back and making an effort to help the new relation with each other, which is going to be nice. And we do have to keep in mind the pandemic. So it's an interesting situation. But we appreciate you helping, being a part of this show. We hope you'll go back and listen to it, tell your friends about it, and be a part of our ACO club because we are a spiritual community. So let's see here. We've done 775, and let me see, 401, 641. You folks can still hang around and listen if you'd like. 401, can you hear me now?
I can. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from, and what's your question?
My name is Carrie. I'm calling from Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a specific question. I'm a first-time listener. I was just enjoying your show. I know you're calling 3 calls. So, I've had a lot go on in the past, 5 to 6 years through law, life lessons, kind of a separation, the whole 9. I have a clean slate right now, so I don't have a particular question, but anything the cards, may be showing you, I'm open to.
Okay, I'll do you a mini reading. This is what I normally do, Richard. And Richard's going to be, we hope, sticking around with us and running the show for our club that we're forming. So anybody that wants to volunteer time, we'll sure take you. It's ACO Club and American Communications Online, and we do radio shows and help counseling and volunteering, and we do psychic work. And but let me see what we've got going on here. Now, give me your name one more time because I'm going to use my cards.
It's Keri, Keri.
Okay, Keri. Now, that made me move some of your present over into the past. That's interesting. I don't know why that. All right, well, then let me pull your past. Okay, very beautiful. Let's see. Been a woman many, many times. You've also had money in your past, very well taken care of. Oh, there's some Indian. You got some Indian blood in you? Somewhere.
I do not. Just no.
What is that?
I sold a family property, so a lot of my family is in spirit. Like my father, my grandmother, my grandfather on his side, my other side. My mom's my only living family member here, but I sold the property about a month ago almost, due to I owned it with a significant other. But I feel as though there may have been some Indian or ancestral background to the property.
It showed in your past. It showed some type of red bird and feather wings and Indian fortune, and so that's why I was wondering.
Well, not to interrupt you, but I did find a red-tailed hawk feather in my between my windshield wipers about a year ago, and it was bizarre. So that would make not red necessarily, but it was definitely a beautiful feather. Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's see what the cards say for your present. Okay. It does show a 2 in the present with a prince and a judgment card. But I take that to mean you said you've gone through the separation and the now is holding on to that, right? So you're starting with a clean slate. So we're going to make sure that you're open to anything that comes your way. And with that said, I'd like to pull your next cards and see. These are many folks. These aren't the full year that we do month to month for you, or if you come in for any type of personal assistance. But we do remote and Skype and Zoom as well. But now your future, did you want to go back to work? Because it looks like you're going to help people with indecision, and yet there's the Pentacles, which are abundance, money, right? And but it's really showing that you're prosperous financially in your future. Do you want to travel?
It's funny you say all of those things. I used to be a flight attendant years ago, and I resigned to move back home because it wasn't good pay. My father passed shortly thereafter, and I never quite got back into that. So yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't know at my age. And then I'm just thinking of more of like a healing profession. I also come from a law office background. I went to college for legal. So, I just want to do something my heart's in. So honestly, you just hit the nail on the head for all of it.
Wow. Well, that's not me. It's the cards, and I totally believe it. I've seen people come and go, and I don't understand a lot of the stuff that I say, but I just let it flow with what I see and what I do. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate the validation, and the cards are wonderful for archetype and supporting me. Now, I went on and looked one more. I know there's many, but folks, we've taken up a lot of time, I know, on each person, but this is our first show together as really trying to get together with the cards, us in the universe, Richard, me, and the universe. I'll let Richard have a turn. But your 9 of completion card is showing me that you are going to get everything that you want according to the universe. They're showing me that you're going to complete this life. And do you wear gold, a lot of gold or yellow, gold? If not, can
not
you?
Not really,
because
but I just bought a pair of earrings. I mean, I don't really wear any gold, but I did just buy a pair of, gold earrings. I mean,
I'm just seeing this beautiful woman looking up to the sky with a beautiful dove in her hand with her peace. And she's really beautifully draped in gold with trees all around her and abundance. So you have the ability to help others make money. So I would say that your gift is manifesting, which a lot of people cannot do, especially in the spiritual and legal world. So if there's a way you can pull those together, that would be a wonderful thing, to find how you can support others. And since you're going into the healing, or I guess body, mind, spirit, or health and wellness, or integrative medicine, we do all of that together. So you're perfectly ripe for all that, and you have all the skills and gifts. And Richard, what do you get for this light worker, truth seeker, coming into the health and legal all together? Sort of sounds like me and you, doesn't it? That's our background.
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
I see that, the slate is basically wiped clean. There's a couple more formalities that have to be signed paperwork-wise. And then after that, I see you venturing southwest. I'm not sure exactly why. I don't know if it's a possibility of just an open space or a new relationship, or maybe perhaps visiting some kind of healing center, so that in turn you can get a better idea of exactly how healers work in the natural setting. And you're very open. Matter of fact, you're very much like a sponge. You have this tendency to just absorb it all. It's like, you could put a book in front of you and you're not going to be satisfied until you've read the whole book. And you do this in a very short period of time. You probably read about 300 to 500 words a minute. And this comes in handy, of course, in your legal profession, because naturally you have to download a whole bunch of facts and scenarios and everything else that have gone in the past. But I would also agree, that if you could mend basic manifestation onto the legal profession, you would help a tremendous amount of people, especially now because of the stupid COVID and people hurting for income and so forth. But you would also heal them from the aspect being, because you'd be bringing them closure.
Right.
Whatever the issue happened to be.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I just think it's like my heart just hasn't been in it, and you don't want to dread doing, what you do.
Oh no! You should never take a job for the sake of a job's sake, unless it's going to offer you something to learn. You know what I'm saying? You should always look for that brings you joy and happiness, because that way it's not really a job at all. Right.
I'm not being challenged enough, I feel, and it's not benefiting. It's benefiting the attorneys I'm assisting. I mean, I chose not to go to law school. I did go to college, but it's just, and no disrespect in that matter either. It's just sort of, I feel like I could be fulfilling a better, like a higher purpose, sort of. But what you're saying makes absolute sense. Maybe like volunteering in a clinic or whatnot, helping like low income, legal advice or legal support, which would really help me feel better about what I'm doing,
Well, sure, because you're a paralegal, and it's a very expensive, high-class law firm. And at times you feel used, and at times you feel abused, and at times you feel overlooked. Right. And again, that's going to come from that environment. You know what I'm saying? That's not necessarily you as a given individual. That's just the what you would call like
nature of the beast.
Call it
nature of the beast.
Exactly. And the ambiance, the ambiance of the environment itself. You know what I'm saying? It's very formal. And yet it's laid back, and then it's all kinds of conflict, and then there's all kinds of personality misinterpretations and all this kind of stuff. And yes, it can become very hectic, and yes, it would indeed make one question as far as their spirituality goes. Well, hello, I've become all sucked into this mundane materiality, and I really would rather be doing something that I enjoy. So all you have to do is just sit quietly in meditation and ask your higher self to join you in conversation, and your heart center, your upper heart center will open, and that'll be your guide from that point forward. And I always tell people, follow your heart, because your heart never is wrong, and your heart is always the best guidance you can follow, simply because if that's from a higher spiritual nature and a higher spiritual source.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, and we hope you come back since this is your first time, and look for ACO Club on YouTube, folks, and Richard T. Knight and Theresa J. Morris on YouTube, and we authors, we write books, and be glad to help you anyway, and we can always use a lot of people in our club. It's all volunteers in cyberspace culture helping other people. So look at us, like us on Blog Talk Radio, TJ Morris ET Radio, and come back and see us. So thank you. Appreciate your time. We're going to go to the next caller. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you very much. And a lot of people, once they get a call, they'll hang up. Some hang around. So, folks, I've got a couple I don't think I've hit yet. See. Where did that one go with the most time? Let me see. Did I get 845? Did I get you? 845-649?
Hello. No,
Okay.
you didn't. I waited over here for a long time. How are you?
Oh, thank you for sticking around. I guess you learned a lot about a lot of people, huh?
It's always good learning, yes.
Thank you. Well, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Name is Lucy. I'm calling from New York.
Lucy in New York. Have you got a question for us? We're doing minis, so it's easier to start with a question, but I can do the cards.
Yes.
No question. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is I'm selling my home. What you see about that one?
Okay.
There's a lot of changes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Let me look at the cards and see what they say. And we'll look at the universal level because they can see much more than I can. And I strongly believe in getting help where we can. So a lot of people can just remote view or see as psychics. And I can, but I like to use the archetypes. Okay. Looks like you have a good foundation. Beautiful. It must be a nice home. You have a nice home, don't you? Very nice home. Now, let me look at I'm looking at your past. Very nice. Let me look at your present. Now, it shows a lot of wisdom. So it's 4 squared on the house. You've done good. It shows in the present that you've already completed this and made this happen. You've got 2 9s, which are completion cards, with abundance and wisdom and swords, and you're wondering in the now. And that's exactly what the cards are showing me, is that you're asking what's going on in your beautiful home in the past, and is it you want to make sure it's selling, right? It's on the market, right?
I don't want to give it away because I had been inputting a lot of love into every details and everything. But everything is reaching on me. Mm-hmm.
The future shows money. You pull in an 8, which is, we could get into details on all the things I'm telling you on the cards, but this is a money card. It shows you standing over, you're happy, you're wearing pink, and you're thanking Mother Goddess for helping you and your fortune that came in. You have a fortune card. And even though there's a judgment card on that, on what you wanted, it shows there's a gentleman that's coming in the future to give you money. So you have a money card up, even though it's in the future. So you may get a second offer. So I would say the way I'm reading the universe and the cards is, yes, you're going to be paid well for your house. It's a time for you to accept that. Don't be too judgmental on the first offer, but this gentleman is going to take very good care of your house, from what I can see. Let me see what Richard sees. Richard, it looks really good. It's just she's going to have a minimum of 2 offers, and she will get paid what she wants because she's taking such good care of her house. How do you feel? Do you need any other information? Give him your name again, please. Lucy, right?
Lucy from New York.
Richard, are you there? Oh, hold on. Let me see where he went. Let's see. Hold on. I don't know how he got kicked on.
I don't know how you muted me, but you did. So therefore, I missed the entire first half of the conversation. But I will tell you 3 things. Okay. Actually, you're going to get 7 offers on your house. All right, and you're to take the 7th offer because the 7th offer is going to be the best. All right, and they're going to buy more than just the house. I think you also have some jewelry of some kind that you've been keepsaking for a long while that has been amassed over time through family generations and this kind of thing. And I do believe there's a couple of diamond pieces that he's also going to be very interested in. So, yes, you're going to find that you are become very, very financially stable. You're not going to give up, and rather than giving up anything, you're actually going to gain a tremendous amount of momentum, both financially and in a romantic aspect, too, if you so wish to pursue it. This gentleman, like I said, is going to be most interested not only in the house, but also in jewelry you have to offer, if that helps any.
Okay, now I'm thinking to sell the house and to see if they want to buy something from me, because otherwise everything else is going to go to Salvation Army, like the shelves and all kinds of stuff that I had around the house.
Oh, you're very giving.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, I am very giving.
That's wonderful. And also, for some of you that are going through this change, be sure and remember that they can give you a receipt from most of the places, Salvation Army, Goodwill. They will give you a receipt equivalent to what you're turning in, a fair price at the end of the year for your taxes. I know a lot of people are worried about charities because you get flagged a lot.
We get the flat rate that is more than whatever we can deduct from whatever donation we give, but then I don't do it. I just do it because I believe I got so much that I can just put it there, and probably it's going to go to somebody that really
wonderful.
need it.
That's so good of you, because so many people don't realize that in America we've had an abundance. We are going to a minimalistic society, folks. We all realize that the name of the game isn't how much we can own anymore. We're wise to that now.
Yes, exactly.
So we appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much, and we hope that you'll notice again on Blog Talk Radio in New York. And thank you so much, Lucy, for calling in and sharing your life with us. And we hope you'll come back and stay tuned and tell your friends about us if you don't mind. Thank you for sharing. You're a good person.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thank you. Okay, let's see here. I have another 646. Have you been on with me yet, me and Richard?
I don't think so. I think this is my first time. Hello. Actually, let me switch over to, let me get off speakerphone. Hang on one second.
Okay. Well, you sound fine.
Hello?
Yeah, we could hear you perfectly well.
Yeah, I think you sounded better on the other line.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
However,
okay, I'll go back to speaker then. Hello?
Yeah, you sound perfect. Now, what's your name and where are you calling from? And give us an idea on the mini reading if you just want a quick reading or you got a question or both. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Both sounds wonderful. Well, my name is Mary, and I'm also calling from New York, and I really appreciate your taking my call. So my question has to do with my investments. And lately, I've been taking a big hit in the stock market because it hasn't been very bullish. There was like a bounce yesterday on the upside, but today, And so I'm just wondering if it would be safer for me if I were to stop investing for a little while, or just like do very minimal investing, and wait for the storm to pass, or if I should just hang in there, and if you see the stock market just bouncing back to where it was before.
Okay, let me tell you, first of all, I've got to do a quick disclaimer, folks, because we get these kind of calls a lot in the psychic world, and a lot of people do depend on us. But yes, I know all about that stuff, but this is for entertainment purposes only, and I am not equipped to give people advice of how to invest. But with you personally, if you'd like a reading, I will tell you what the cards say. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'd love to see what the cards say.
Okay. That way I'm covered with my entertainment. And we give people fame, fortune, and all that. As long as people understand it's live recording, folks, and we love you being a part of our show. But the reason we do these is to feel it's a call to volunteer. But we still would like you to like us on YouTube, TJ Morris, Theresa J Morris, Richard T. Knight, and we have a new YouTube ACO club. So join us if you will, and let's get to know each other and see how we can help each other. But always we're thinking about how we should invest, and I'm going to do a little bit more of a split here than I normally do because when it comes to fortunes, this is strictly in my opinion as a psychic reader, precog, and what I'm doing for entertainment for this lady, folks. And all you friends of mine in LinkedIn and investments understand because you guys get in touch with me all the time. So, all right, let me look at your past. I'm going to give you a full reading, not a full, but a mini short. You have completed a beautiful past. Let me look. Okay, your completion time, you've done a lot of completing. You're very good at doing your task in the past, and I commend you for completing. Same thing in the present. Oh, my gosh, you've got such a good thing going on here. Wow, lady, you are loaded on beginnings. So you're beginning, middle, and end. You're high spirit, very high. You're very blessed. You must be not returning to this wheel, your karmic wheel this time, because you're very, very powerful spiritually right now. So you need to really be impressed that you are spiritually awakened. And so your abundance is, you're probably going to be called. Let me look. Okay, the 5 sisters with wisdom. Fertility. Now, have you already had your children? Is that behind you? Because I don't understand in this particular place why fertility, except for abundance. We'll use that then for money, that you're going to be very fertile. Now, meaning that's abundance. Now, also what I'm seeing, one of your guides, and the actual word which I work in is coming up. So that's good. Actually, 2. Good lands, lady. You're beautiful with the future. What I would say, because of who you are and what you've done in your past lives, and that you're very good at beginnings, that you know how to start and stop and come back on the wheel and complete and start and stop and come back. You have a little bit of a bodhisattva thing going on where you're in service to others, but you're asking in this reality because you deserve it from the universe, in this reality that you decided you would keep a little this time for yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Is it resonating with you?
Yes, it is resonating with me. Yeah, like previously, well, I should say up until months ago, I really put others first most of the time. And I feel like I really should do something good for myself. So I'm focusing on building myself up.
Well, that's what the cards are showing me. They're very beautiful. Your guides watching over you. I want you to think about your higher self and your goddess self and your all levels of existence. So you may want to get into the patience of penance, because I'm seeing some cards showing me that the Mother Goddess is calling you into service. But that's because you've served her so well. But your guides want you to focus on your heart, your emotions. Now, let me see what your travel card is. You wanted to know about should you stay. Your guides are telling me to let your cup runneth over, which would say to you stay where you are, is in the now, is to hold on to what you've got, because it says you're building. They have your roots. They're saying they've got you. So I would say if you're looking at a pie, a lot of us put long term. And so they're telling me to tell you they're looking for you to help others. So they're thirding it out, but 50% you need to put in under your tree. They're showing me to put the gold under the tree. That's where Richard can come in. He'll give you his leprechaun idea. But for seriously on your oppression, there's a lot of oppression out there. So what we're doing is all the people that have the abundance on the top are looking to join together to fight the oppression of food, hunger, and lack of while we're going through this future AI. But your guides are showing me that there's some travel involved for you within 6 months. Now, you need to think about staying where you are because you may get a call to help the oppressed, which means sort of like these other ladies that have been calling in that are all talking about helping and supporting others and working to save others. But see, you've already done all that. You're now at the point where you're saying, I need to save a little bit for myself. So you want to keep at least 50% long term. I would say 58% long term. That only leaves you, and I'm not good with math, out of a pie of 100%. It's saying 3, 10, and wisdom. So you need to use no more than a third of your assets for venture, and 10% save, and wisdom means how you're going to use your discernment. So I'm only going to tell you that in the cards that show that they want you to contemplate change. This is why you're being called to this radio station and this television. Well, we're not on television, but we will be on YouTube. You can go back and listen to you. But, Richard, can you talk to her about her money that's below her, at her 58? You and I talked about it today. But her contemplation for change, her guides, her higher self is showing she's always been such a good soul in her past lives, and she's helped in this reality. But it's okay for her to feel okay about saving some for herself and putting back. But they're saying no more than a third to use contemplation and wisdom. But it does show she wins out long term, 9 months. So can you help me out here, Richard?
Well, sure. I mean, it's an interesting thing, Mary, before you even asked your question. I was seeing this hedgehog poking his head up from a hole in the ground, and he was holding a sign saying, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. Now, of course,
buy
you know,
gold,
that's yes, buy gold. Why? Because that's where the money's going, and because you see that's going to be the new standard, but it's going to be utilized in a different format than it has before. In other words, rather than the absolute insurance that it has been up until now, it's going to be used in different formats and to a large extent through cyberspace. But of course, you know, you want to also have tangibility, okay? So I would strongly suggest and agree with the hedgehog over here, you know, under the hole over there, that you buy some gold for yourself and you sequester it away in a safety deposit box for long-term futures, okay? And there's nothing absolutely wrong with it, because universal law says that, hello, we are all divine beings, and therefore we are entitled to anything that we can dream of. We are beings of endless possibility. So therefore, you know, if you have constantly given to others, which of course that's the right road, service to others is the highest path that you can travel. But anyway, you should always put away a bit on the side, because you want to avoid any kind of karmic cords or vows of poverty in the past, okay? Which oftentimes, when we reflect really deeply, we will come to find that in past lives and so forth, we actually took vows of poverty, and as a result, this is why it's foremost in our character to help and serve others, and we very seldom, or most of the time, we put ourselves last. So there is absolutely no harm, and there should be no guilt or shame or anything of a negative nature attached to it. But yeah, you should definitely sock yourself some away. In other words, pull back from futures and what you could say were conservative risks, okay, and invest it in the gold that the wee hedgehogs over there is recommending. Anyway, just off the top of my head. So anyway, in addition to that, of course, you're a very beautiful spirit. You are in constant communion with your angels, your guides, and your higher self to a large extent. You should, of course, give yourself more time for yourself. You seem to be very dedicated not only to the needs of others, but also to the wants of others at times. And sometimes you really haven't portioned out that independent need for yourself. Here's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you need to take more time for yourself, be more school-worthy, I guess you could say, in regards to your investments. As you know, TJ was suggesting, I would suggest 37%, and that way, you know, you're hedged for any future outcomes of what this world may change into tomorrow or the next week or whatever. And this also puts you in a position of stability and solidarity within the confines of your own reality. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have any more? Remember, we're the last card for the future, which they want you, your higher self, those your guides, those that we're all sourcing our higher selves and the lessons they teach us. They want you to contemplate change. So what does that mean to you? Can you visualize that?
Oh, I'm in the process of change, actually. I used to work in the nonprofit sector. I did that for a long time. And as of late, I have been focused more on investing and starting an Amazon business. And actually, I just came off a webinar, and there's this new program that is being offered by this company that I've taken a course with. And actually, if you don't mind, I think that it sounds good. But then, you know, like if you pick up anything negative about it, I'd like to know. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually heading in a very different direction where I'm being more independent and entrepreneurial, and the process is a little bit bumpy, right? And so with the investing, it went well, like really well for a good number of months. And right now we're going through this little shakeup, and you know, I can't rely on it as much as I did before for income. Not that I was using the money that I was making through the stock market, but I definitely had that cushion available. But now I think that I really have seen the volatility of the market. I need to focus more on building this Amazon business, which I thought of as being more supplementary, but there is an opportunity to work with somebody who will like whip any seller who signs up into shape within 4 months.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So with Amazon, a lot of people realize it is one of the big ones. We have Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and, of course, Google. But, you know, they're all like Edge. But, you know, the big five are we're going through April. We're rewriting a lot of code out there, folks, for the cyberspace culture and security. So a lot of the major communications, we're going, Elon Musk is putting up, 6,000 at a time, or, these satellites. So we are in flux, and it's okay. It's just the whole world, we're all individuals, but we are going to global, and we can't look back because a lot of people are going to be going into space now. So we're not only going to be on the planet, but a lot more in space, all these countries. And some of them are putting up firewalls, but you'd be surprised how much we're already working together in governments and as contractors and up in space. And we have a lot to clean up in space, and a lot of people are investing in satellites. But that's, depends on the top 1% and how much they're willing to share with those in the working class right now, from what I can see on the economic future for all of us. But just remember, change is constant, and we always do as much as we can as women to make sure all our people have enough. And it's supposed to be for the next 5,000 years that we are in that realm as far as the psyche and what our archetypes are looking, that we are looking to grow and help women on the planet. But please, ladies out there, be sure and look at it like you're nurturing a baby. Your new companies are, as entrepreneurs, these are your babies. and you have to grow them. So think of them just like you would a child. I'm an entrepreneur as well. I've started growing a whole new company as well, and I know what you're talking about because I've seen a lot of change and growth, and I always make sure that, I don't play one thing, so I would always say that follow those mentors. Look at what the big guys are doing, and shouldn't drop a name, but Warren Buffett gives a lot of good advice, and he owns See's Candies. Enough said. But just follow. We're always going to think of it this way. We're always, as on the world, we're always going to need food. We're going to always need water. We're always going to need air. And then anything else above that should be spiritual, and if it's really needed, and where we're going into cyberspace culture in the minimalist. And they're going to be looking to bring in all the younger people in their 20s, and they've redesigned the world where they're being brought up inside cyberspace, inside artificial, remote, virtual. So they've got all us old people on lockdown now. So we're going to have to learn to adjust and adapt and overcome our parish. But really, as Richard and I will tell you, we're all immortals. So we're all eternally grateful for the time we have on the planet to do our part to evolve our souls. Richard, any other parting ways? We've got 30 minutes, and I've got one person left on the board. So, folks, if you want to have a mini reading tonight, it's a good time or day. What time is it where you are? 646? Where are you? In New York. What time is it? Are you in New York? Did I say wrong?
Oh, no, you're right. I am in New York. It's almost 6:30.
6:30. Well, I know you've been doing good, and yes, things are going to go up and down, but this is the year for the big ones. This year in tech, as they call it, big tech, that's not going to stop. That's only going to grow. But we have all these ups and downs with the different countries and growing globally. So everybody keep in mind medical and tech and food always, of course. So we're always going to need all that. And so I always like to look at the new futures, too. I just like to watch the future and where we're going with all of that. I see high-speed trains are going to, Richard with Virgin here in Florida. So just look at other things. But I don't think Jeff Bezos is going to go away anytime soon. The thing is, the big companies are trying to get into the other lanes. I wish they'd stay in their lane psychically and spiritually, but that's my own personal opinion. What say you, Mr. Knight, about the world changing and crossing into other lanes, like the tech guys getting into pharmaceuticals or into farming and HMOs and all that around the world? What say you?
Well, I think that's an expansion of learning. You know what I'm saying? The interest is genuine to some degree. Of course, there's always a thriving market in regards to making profits. So, you can look at the fast food industry. The fast food industry is a fantastic example of that, simply because, you had burger joints that were purely burgers. Now the burger joints sell chicken, sell fish, and of course, they're in competition.
Not
yeah,
meat
that
burgers.
too. Yeah, they've gone vegan too. So that supposedly tastes like hamburger. Yeah, somehow I'm not impressed about that. But anyway, it is what it is. As they say, each to their own. Okay,
we'll throw away
nothing
the bun.
wrong with that.
I'd like to have a lettuce. I go through an order if I have to, if I'm in a hurry and I'm hungry, and I got to have something because I'm one of those on the border where my sugar drops. I'll tell them to give me the patties as for my dog, but add lettuce. I use lettuce rolls. Throw away the bun. But I do love bread, folks. Don't get me wrong. Grain. Now, around the world, grain. We're going to look at that storehouse because the big Egypt thing on the futures, folks. We've got to look at the keeping the real seeds. That's up for grabs around Antarctica and all that. But we're trying to keep the whole grain and the real grains. But I'm very much for keeping the old type of grains out there, and although some of the health people tell me to don't eat bread, so but it's to each your own, folks. You know, can't advise you too much on how to eat because I love to eat. But I hope that helped you a little bit. But you know, do be safe out there. Just take it easy and watch what we're doing. Give us a little time, folks, to put the universe together at least through April. We're coming back. And it's a little slow. We've only got a few days left in February. Give us through March. And after April and people have got their taxes back and all that, you know, it's the standard. And just for everybody that's investing, know that the oldest thing on the planet is in the if you can't till the soil, that's your net worth in spirit land on this planet. If you're not tilling the soil, if you're not giving with your hands into the soil to Mother Earth, we're all stewards and tillers, and we're put here to help, you know, our species and the planet and feed ourselves with plant, animal, mineral, whatever, but we evolve up. So be sure you're working on your spiritual evolvement into the next dimension, just so you know. Well, let me get to this next lady, but thank you for sharing your story, and be safe, but use that just on the side. I would definitely put time to raise the baby. Just don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay. Well, thank you so
Come
much.
back. All right. Let's see. 775. It's the 762 number. Did we talk to you? Can you hear me? Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Nevada. Did we talk to Las Vegas already?
No.
Las Vegas, Nevada. Can you
Nope.
hear me? Okay, let me try it one more time. Can you hear me now? That may be another syndication. A lot of people put us on syndication. Well, let's see here. Somebody's called in here. Let's see who. Or did we just do 414? Was that you?
Not me. No.
Oh, good. Okay, good. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Felicia, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
Hi, Felicia in Tennessee. What's the weather like, just so we can know?
Well, it was earlier. It was like in maybe with 50s, high 50s, but now it's like it's cooling off. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days.
Oh, okay. Well, Felicia, how is it Felicia?
Nope, it's Filisaja.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful Filisaja. You got that, Richard? I like that.
Yep.
Felicia. My dog likes it too. Let me mute. Richard, ask her a question the way you do it without the cards. But Felicia, I'll do the cards because I think you're going to be our last one. We've only got 20 minutes left. Unless somebody else wants to call in, feel free. I'm going to mute while my dog's barking.
Alicia, I would go ahead and ask you, if you don't mind, say your approximate age and what astrological sign might you be?
I am 51, and my sign is a Taurus.
Okay. And do you have a specific question that you'd like answered, or did you just...
I could just do a general if need be.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, you're comfortable in love. You're kind of on a rope financially, kind of, sort of. It's like you have stability, but you're looking for something else. And let's see here. You have a great deal of balance. You have a great deal of harmony. You're a very, very grounded person, which is wonderful. In other words, that means that you're very in touch with your roots. You're very in touch with Mother Earth. And I see you surrounded by a great deal of love. Must be family. And I also see, let's see. Yeah, I see a significant other. They already involved with you, then they must be on the very close horizon.
I'm married.
So all I see, oh, okay, there you go. That makes
21
sense.
years.
21 wow!
Years.
Congratulations. That's an accomplishment and a half, considering all the stress and everything else in the last 10 years. Goodness me. Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that would make it understandable then why you're surrounded by love. Of course. Because you've had more than enough time to have the ups and downs and get settled in with each other and get to know each other thoroughly and all that kind of good stuff. And of course, as a result of that, you support each other in unique ways. Because you still remain unique, even though you're in a very committed relationship. You're still very unique at the same time, and of course, you inspire each other to grow. And you're very positive towards each other. I don't detect any rash negativity. I don't even see any negative outside influences at the moment.
We're not letting that happen again.
There you go. Oh, okay. So you did have a trifle of a spell about 3 years back.
Yeah. 2 years, long years ago.
Yeah. So anyway, but I see your overall presence and your overall future are in harmony with each other. In other words, I see stability, I see good fortune, and I see pleasantry coming towards you from unexpected sources, like especially in relations to the community at large.
Yes, and that's what it's heading to. I'm trying to do a career move.
Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing wrong with change. Matter of fact, doors are swinging wide open now, and other ones are closing. So to be on the horse that's going to be running along to create positive change is basically the best place to be right now. Simply because you can hedge everything. Of course, you have to be discerning, okay? So use your magnifying glass and look at things for the small print, all right? Don't be signing no contracts until you have all the details, okay? Because unfortunately, with cyberspace being as influential as it is now, with the majority of us staying home for the most part and working from home in some situations, and otherwise, of course, if you happen to go through lockdown and that kind of thing where you're basically only supposed to go out if you absolutely have to, and of course you mask and you take the 6 foot apart distance and all that kind of thing. That is coming to an end eventually here. So Spirit tells me, of course, they won't tell me exactly when, which I can't blame them for that, because there's a lot of learning lessons that are going on with this stupid pandemic. You know what I'm saying? People have been brought to crisis. People have been brought to disharmony. People have had their whole reality basically collapse around them. And times it's because they ignored lessons in the past they were supposed to observe. You see what I'm saying? As the old saying goes, if you don't learn the lesson the first time around, it keeps repeating itself until you do.
So, yeah, exactly.
But you're also a very expressive person, aren't you? You like to talk on the phone and you like to write. You like to write poetry and that kind of thing. Or not poetry. Oh, okay. Something along the lines of romance, kind of the fantasy genre. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you do know that we run the ACO Club, and we're looking for writers and authors, and we're helping them get, books out in the community and all this kind of thing. And we're not charging anyone anything other than maybe a mere membership dues, which would be like $2 a month. Okay. And we have numerous organizations under our umbrella, which is the American Communications Online. And we have the Folk Life series, and we have all kinds of learned professors, and we have an archive of all kinds of sundry products and articles and research things and all this kind of stuff. And of course, the whole thing, that the difference of joining free and joining as a member for the $2 a month is the fact that you get access to all these different archives, and it also keeps you updated on what Theresa and I myself are doing, or TJ. Okay, and because we're going to be coming out with a whole slew of books in the very near future ourselves, and these are not, we're doing it as a way to help people get through the times that we're currently crossing through, you could say, and become more and more focused towards the ascension process in their awareness spiritually. And that's where mankind needs to be focused the most, because basically we're on we're basically in a place in history where mankind has been 3 times before. And the three previous times we didn't succeed too well. Well, here we are once again at the same juncture, you could say. Fortunately, for our sake, the positive is overwhelming the negative in this particular instance. And so as a result, a lot of people are waking up. Now, of course, I'm sure you're well aware of what awakening means, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm sure you've been investigating. You're very curious by nature. You're very soft spoken, but you're very curious. Yes, I see you doing all kinds of searches for quite a period of time.
My husband wouldn't say I was soft spoken. He wouldn't say that.
Oh, he wouldn't say that. Oh, in other words, he knows the more vibrant part of you. You're presenting yourself soft spoken for the radio. I see, but that also shows that you're also relaxed. You see, because the person usually feels that they need to be vibrant when they're more alarmed or there's something bothering them, or they need to make a point or what have you. When you're soft spoken, it denotes that you're more reserved in nature than you are an extrovert. Okay? In other words, you would prefer things to come to you rather than you to go out and chase them down.
Right.
So, anyway, TJ, are you there?
Yeah, let me do a quick reading for her. So
there you go. Pull her cards
question.
for her, and we'll see what's going on here with Felicia. She's such a gentle soul.
No real questions on money, fame, or fortune. You're just looking for something new, maybe, right?
Well, my career is my thing. I'm trying to move because I was trying to leave the current job that I am, and I didn't get the position that I was looking for. So I was trying to see. I work with the population of the homeless population.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Thank you for
that
your
explains
service.
a great deal.
Yes,
indeed.
Wow, thank you. That's
incredible.
Very commendable. The universe and, God's source and all of us at all levels and all dimensions, realms, and universes, right? We love people like you, so giving. Well, thank you for your energy, because that takes a lot of energy to get yourself motivated to help those that are less fortunate with energy,
Yeah,
so,
I'm more of the paper pusher, but I miss the outside. I'm saying paper pusher meaning because I work for the state, and we do the grants and the contracts and everything for the providers out in the community. I miss being the one community, having that balance of doing a little paper pushing and working in the community and seeing that lovely reaction when we find them a home or when we help them with rent. I miss that so much. I miss that closeness.
Well, let's see what you can do. Now you're helping the paper pushing. We need administrators, and we always need people that are willing to help in that. But let me look and see what your cards say. Now they say the cards, the universe is telling me that in the past you were judged very harshly because of your powers. Now this is in the past, okay? You can say past life or past in this life, but you had somebody over you that allowed you to have money and fortune, meaning that they believed in you. Okay, that's what the cards are telling me. But your guide came along at the various high level in the past and put you in this circle of life, which we call 3D reality now. But in this life, believe it or not, you have a good life, but the strength is your strength looks like it's in the male part of you, but you're well balanced. I'm looking at the moon goddess, and yet in the forest with strength, and the queen of wisdom on the other side for you in the now. It shows you're a very well balanced person. So you should be able to work in any profession you want. You're very put together spiritually. Let me just put it that way. So why is the cat? Okay, cat jumped on your cards. I don't know what that was about, but it shows here in the future. It does show you're still going to work. You have the oppression card, but it is in the blessed side of your spirituality. That would be your giving and your helping others. But it still shows that you're willing to help the oppressed. These are your future cards. but you're a master at this. So they want to ask you if you will, let me see. Okay. They're playing the wisdom card on you for the future. They're going to want you, this is the universe now, telling me that in the future they still have you working with the oppressed and people that seem to be getting at each other. Do you have any psychology or counseling at all that you can offer to the future?
Well, I'm working on my master's degree, but it's not in counseling. It's more of a little bit of administrative. I didn't do my LPC. I changed my degree.
Okay. The wisdom that you have is what the universe is asking you to offer them, meaning all of us, the weans, all of us, the collective consciousness. So when I read cards, I read from the universal level and bring it down, hopefully step it down where you can understand it. But I'm looking at a beautiful card that if you can master your master, so to speak, they really say that there's something, they have a 10 completion, which is a master number of wisdom, but I'm holding in my hand the literal wisdom card, which shows me that this is your calling. So they're asking you to help educate everyone, and I would think that would be on the spiritual divine level, because you've already mastered in your past being taken care of in a family situation. You know how to balance your energy. So wisdom is very important. It's really what we seek: information, knowledge, curiosity. So it shows that you're very calm and content. But with your future, you're going to need to use that wisdom for the universe. So how best is your gift? I would think whatever you've learned in this reality to help with the change, because we're in the gathering of the souls for the new AI reality moving into space in this 3D reality. You'll hear them talking about 5D and raising consciousness, spiritually aware, the entire planet, Gaia. I don't know if you probably have learned about that. But Tennessee, are you... which end are you at? Are you at Knoxville? Or are you at Nashville?
Nashville, more closer to Nashville, 30 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay. All right. So Nashville is going through major changes right now. Let's see. Can you go down to where they're making the records? I've even got to call them myself down in Nashville. I'm getting a calling back into helping people, too, in the music industry. And I don't shine, but unfortunately sometimes just because we have the knowledge, that's what people want to hit on for production and producing. But if you can get down there at all those places that they're making the disc for all the companies, I just feel like there's some wisdom you could offer down there. But you said you don't want to do the medical field. Why am I getting a negative on the medical?
No, medical I did before. Yeah, the medical field I did before. The balance that I'm talking about is what you said a few minutes ago, that the knowledge that I'm learning that I have learned from my administrative side, meaning this paper pushing, and I think we do an excellent job with that because we have to make sure everything's great. So I'm not knocking what I currently do, but I could take that and then all the providers that I contact with on a daily basis in the community, I could help the homeless or the needy that's out in the community.
Right. So maybe you want to form your own little LLC.
That's somebody just told me.
Who told you that? Somebody else?
I thought of that, and I said, but I always talk myself out of things because I said even if I do my own LLC and open up something, I always talk myself out of because it's a headache to do all that, to run this and do that. So I'd rather be out there just doing,
Well, some people are running food to the elderly and setting up their Uber, calling Uber. That's our food. But I was asked to do that too, to help run food or Meal on Wheels. But you know how to do all of it, so you need to set up your own little company. You know how a lot of I know that you don't want to do medical, but my sister ran companies and hospitals and RN, and then she really ran her own company and put nurses out in homes, those kind. But you can really, we need people like you in management, administration, even with my company, American Communication Online, because we have our article and bylaw we're setting up for nonprofit. But we need people, administrators, to help us orchestrate each state for how do we work with these veteran organizations and how do we work, because everybody needs money, and yet, the VA, the people that need the education on how do they do this, how do they do that, and how do they get there. So we need good middle class administrators that we cut out when I was willing to go back to work in the late 80s to early 90s in the psychic world. But I've been called to work at the global level, and it sounds like you are too. But what I get in Nashville, this is right from Nashville while I was a big producer and going in and out of the recording studios and, having the pitch and the producers and working with BMI, was you got to start in your own backyard. They're really big on watching you grow right in Nashville. And we need a lot of help there, especially with the homeless. So I would strongly suggest you go ahead and set up your little Tennessee LLC. Richard, don't you think that would be good for her?
Yes, I mean she's very vibrant, is very pleasant in her presentation presence, and she's got a very, very big heart. And yeah, I think she would be very well received in that community for sure.
Yeah. Well, you can network with us, and we'll be here. I've been doing this since 2012 right here on Blog Talk. So I've tried to leave, and the world will not let me. They like me helping people. And even though my higher religious, born in the South Side gets to me, all the people all over the world say, no, we like listening to you. And I'm surprised at some of the people that I've been told that listen to what we do here, but they believe it or not, people like this as a talk show. They like to hear what's going on, and be in touch with people. So we appreciate what you're doing, and you hold your energy there. And like Richard T. Knight said, you can look him up on Facebook and stay in touch. We'll help you network. And folks, we do need a lot of volunteers out there, whether you want to be profit, nonprofit, entrepreneur, LLCs, we're here to help you too. But we always need people. Yes, ma'am.
What's the name that you say? American Communication Online? Is that what you work on?
Yes, and we have American. It's called ACO Association. Let me see which one you guys can go to, because I wasn't really ready to open the door up for me and Richard on the psychic world, but we're trying to pull. Let's see, AmericanCommunicationOnline.com. Now, when you go on there, let me see. Does it have a place? See, this is our business for helping people with businesses and domains. But let me see if it says contact us on the bottom. It says support, sales, general helps, but I'm a reseller and GoDaddy provider for businesses and domains. We build domains. But it does have UAP. Let me see my name, Theresa J Morris. No, I tell you what, me and Richard will set up. I've got a UAP for my UAP people. They're unidentified anomalous phenomena. So I work with different groups. And Saturday we're going to have a paranormal group come in. But Richard and I, what do we have? tjmorris.us, I think. I'm looking for something where Richard and I can send people to work with us. TJ Morris.
Yeah, we'll have to create a page, or a flyer or something of that nature that we can put as an attachment on the main page that they can open up.
Richard, tjmorris.us. It looks Ascension Age Spiritual Growth Community. We make technology accessible. Let me see if we've got to contact us. Okay, I'll put Richard on tjmorris.us. That's my brand name on this radio show. But folks, we're all in flux and change too, so we'll work with you. But I'm Theresa J Morris on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Theresa with an H, Theresa Morris. Richard, can you give out your Facebook so she can at least be
Sure. I'm on
free...
Facebook as Richard Knight, and you can recognize my profile because it's the Archangel Michael, and he's holding a sabered sword in front of him. And I did have an account, and unfortunately it got taken down by Facebook. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I have one that did too.
I'm rebuilding from what had been 15 years of stability into a fresh beginning. So this account's only maybe a couple of weeks old or so, roughly speaking. But you can also reach my profile on LinkedIn if you have a LinkedIn profile. You can reach me that way, or you can also reach me. You can also reach me at RT Knight, which are my initials, Richard Thomas, and my last name Knight, 35@gmail.com.
So Knight, is that what a K-I-N-I?
Yep, that's the guy that rides the horse. Yep.
Yep, then I got it. Yep, I got you right here too.
It looks like tjmorris.us is okay. It's got an angel on the top. It says Ascension Age Spiritual Growth Community. We have service 1, 2, and 3 are services. So Richard and I just today got our first account to work together. So we're going to build this Ascension Age Spiritual Growth Community. But I've got all kind of domains because that's the business I'm in. But it's for different groups I work with, agencies and all of that. And I've got some psychic stuff too. So just so you know, folks, spirituality, paranormal, and the psychic work all seems to go together, and all of us helping each other. So welcome to the Ascension Age. It's official. We're all raising our consciousness to work together. So I don't see anybody else, folks, and this is the end of the show. Now, give me your name again. Felicia, right? F-E-L-I-S-H-A?
No,
Felicia.
F-I-L-I-S-H-A.
I'm going to write that down in case I see you.
Yeah, it's certainly different. Almost like a flower.
F-E-L-I-S-H-A. Okay. And you want my phone number, or Richard's, or both of us?
I have Richard's Facebook page. What is yours again? I just found Richard's and I'm admin.
Mine at home is 850-376-9100. And I'm very public. I've got TJ Morris, ACO. I've got all kind of videos. And Richard and I are going to be working together. And I told him I'd save that tjmorris.us so we can put US and us up there for the Ascension Age. Because the psychic stuff, people need to know how to get in touch with us. Whether they may not, they may just want to contact us and be a part of the Ascension Age and help them get stuff going on, not just psychic stuff. So if you're part of today's show, y'all come back and listen, and we'll do these shows, and we're going to, we do them, Richard says we're going to wind up doing 7. I hope not, but it's important to reach and to be visible and to be current if you're going to run a business, and you know that, Felicia, right?
Yes.
So we can do some PR for the Ascension Age at tjmorris.us and put mine and Richard's name up there. So we're working on it, folks. It's going faster than Richard and I are.
Felicia, if you'll send me an email, I'll share my number with you. I just don't wish to pronounce my number as far as my private cell phone is concerned to the general public. You see what I'm saying?
Is your email is at www.richard-knight.co.uk? No.
It's
I'm not
spirituality
sure.
and tranquility.
I'll look it up.
Well, yeah, you can use either one, spirituality and tranquility, and the "and" is spelled out in the middle word at gmail.com, or you can just cut to chase and just put RT, my last name, Knight, 35 at gmail.com.
Okay. I'm writing it down. I got it.
So you got both of them. I seem to be able to remember spirituality and tranquility for some reason. It's so long.
2 key words.
I don't know why. But those are 2 good words. But American Communications Online is what we do, folks. We're in the information providing business. But if you guys are entrepreneurs or small businesses or women especially want to hook up with us, we're not just psychics. We're administrators and managers and we're paper pushers too, but we'll all help each other because it's going to take a lot of networking. And right now, a lot of the social media is getting hurt because the big ones have so much that the little people can't make any money online. You know, so we know Amazon and Google and Facebook and Twitter, but I use Pinterest. But, you know, they all tell me, they're all connected on the inside, and they all tell me what I can and can't do almost. And Google's gotten so good, they pretty much write out my letters for me in advance. There's all kind of services out there that are really good, but all of us, we just need to help each other. And we're going to be an uplifting community, but we're going to be realistic too. So use your intellectual and your intuitional side, Felicia. We need a lot of people that know how to be balanced and don't get so far to the left or right that they're getting, you know, too extreme, right? We need some, we got to all come back to reality here.
We want the middle of the road people. That's what we want.
Yeah, what happened?
Hear ye, this is a summons. You will all come to the ACO.com. Hello?
We don't even have an ACO.com. Let's see. We've got TJ Morris ET Radio, TJ Morris Agency for Talent. Theresa, let's see, what all? I'm in the process of changing because they started putting all those Googles clamped down with that Panda and started putting those SSL certificates. Those certificates were costing $80 to $100 per domain, you know. Okay. So those SSLs were what were costing us, folks. So, but anyway, everybody, if you're going to do work, it doesn't matter if it's psychic, tarot. We work with mystics, oracles, psychics, sages, seers. But I also
we cover the gamuts.
Yeah, we work with agents, consultants, organizers, educators, radio show hosts, video production crews, even screenwriters in Hollywood, book authors, and even companies. So I call us an unincorporated association. So if you want to look at ACO Association, let me look, Richard. That's the only ACO I think I've got right now. I've got
AmericanCommunicationsOnline.com. I was just shortening it to ACO.com. That's all I was doing.
Let's see, ACOassociation.com. That's the short one. So, yeah, there's an ACO. ACO Association, Felicia.
Okay.
ACOassociation.com. We'll put you in that and then get you helping us figure out what we're going to do from there. We've got Allied Command Org, Alien Contact Org, just depends. ACO Press Club for those that are artists. And we do need partners. So, yeah, look at ACO Professional Trade Association. And then I've got Theresa J Morris on Patreon.com. I'm trying to set up a community for all of us. But everybody's doing different things, you know. I need you in LLC. You're definitely, that's a good spot, especially for my musicians and people. We got a lot of musicians and stuff. Well, folks, I hope that you've enjoyed the show. We're over time, and we'll be back Saturday. We're going to take a break Friday since we did Thursday. Sometimes Richard and I do Friday, but I didn't book any UFO people. We do UFO people with all the people that book in. But Saturday is Paranormal Society. What was that?
That's enough.
I hit a button on my computer by accident.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Had me wondering there. I thought maybe you had an alien coming into the room saying, staring at you or something. Who knows? Anything and everything's possible, you know.
I was like, wait a minute. How do I get rid of it?
Well, Felicia, it's wonderful, and I'm so glad you're an administrator. And believe me, there's plenty need for those, so especially with your little LLC. And I'm sure we'll can all do something. So, folks, just look for us. We're going to get our act together. We got several domains out there: ACO Association and TJMorris.us, and then we offer radio shows for your visibility too. So, we're doing all kind of things. So, join us, and we'll see you Saturday right here. And then we'll be back Thursday. Right, Richard? We're going to just try to leave the mini readings on Thursdays.
Yeah, we can do that. I was I'm kind of focusing in my head maybe 5 days a week. We do Wednesdays, Thursdays, and maybe 4. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Starting again, yeah. All right. Well, Sunday we do spiritual, Felicia, so you can come back and help us on that too.
Okay.
We got to have our Sunday go to meeting and our Wednesday night. Whew. All right. Love and light, everybody. Thank you, Felicia.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you help us all. All right. And Richard, thank you. As always, you've given of your time. You've been a great volunteer helping us with our psychic show, and it will be here on Blog Talk Radio as an archive. It also goes out, folks, on Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, just about everywhere under TJ Morris, ET Radio. So that's the call sign, and that's the one we've been using for, let's see, 2012. What is this, 21? How much
Coming
is
up on
it?
9 years. Coming up on 9 years.
9? Yeah, so it's a
9's a high mystical number. So this is the year of beginning, you see.
Yeah, we're starting all over. Completion 9 year will be June 6th with Blog Talk. Now I've been
by then we'll be vibrating at 11, and probably by the end of the year we'll be vibrating at 33. But anyway.
And then I started with GoDaddy in '98, but they had so many new things going through, and but they give me. I used 2004 with the federal government for my contractor number, so we'll go with 2004.
We're closing out the show.
Richard.
Love and light. Have a blessed night.
Much.
Thank you, Felicia. We've enjoyed your company and your chat, and we hope we help you in a minor way.
Thank you, everybody. You've been great. We're looking forward to growing with you. Thank you so much. Okay, Richard, out of here. Here we go.
All right.
Let's see. See y'all Saturday.
Yes.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.